All right. Desktop has the same payment process as web in terms of you have to add a card. However, we do not actually know how much your balance is on your desktop app because we have no access to it. So the way you would add funds for desktop is you would click on the add funds button, right? And when you click on add funds, it will give you the ability to add a credit card. And at that point, you go in, you go through that process, it'll add to your account. It will also send you an email with a payment code. The next step you have to go through is you go to the payment tab, and you can enter the payment code here and click submit, and that will add the balance to this desktop install. Or if you click on refresh from online, it'll pull that transaction down to your desktop app. Now, back to the same point I started earlier, which is if you have multiple desktop app installs, because the funds are tied to each install, if you have multiple desktop app installs, you need to make sure you're adding funds to the correct one. Because when we pull it down, refresh from online, or you enter a payment code, if there's a mismatch between where you're pulling it down from, like which PC you've installed it and pulling it down from, and where you add the funds online, you will actually not see the funds on the desktop install. So please be sure that you're adding it to the correct device here. Once you have funds added and you submit a job, as long as there is sufficient balance, the job will go through. If there is insufficient balance, it will tell you that there is insufficient balance and that you need to add funds. At all times, you will see the available balance here, just so that you're aware of it. Every payment transaction you make will show up in your payment history here, and it will also show up here. Every time a job is charged, so while job history just shows you the list of jobs, every time a job is charged, the whole thing will show up here in terms of like the value of what was spent and all of that.